Hi there. So for today's recording, it is about my menstruation. What is special about my menstruation? Ah, duh. I have the reversed menstruation, which means I have longer days of menstruation versus days without menstruation. So yeah, I could remember it started when I was in college after a doctor prescribed me to take some pills. It was really a big problem. But before that, I never really had painful cramps. But right after taking the pills, it became very painful. Huge blood clots coming out from me. So it was really scary when I first experienced very heavy flow. I have to go to school and I use menstrual pad and every time my blood gushes out from my vagina, the entire pad is soaked with blood, and I have to go home from the classroom to our apartment before where we stayed. Uh, Bloody. I was really bloody, and maybe the people were looking at me. I really don't care that time, and I I had a really very painful cramps. Like I was crying. I would punch. I would punch the air. I would punch the walls. It was really painful. And one night I woke up. My mom my it's not. I thought it was my stomach, which was very painful. So I had to poop. And after pooping, instead of walking straight, instead of walking straight, I was walking like this, bending. I was bending while I was walking because I can stretch my stomach because I really have painful cramps. So I went back to the comfort room, the bathroom, and I thought I was pooping again, but no, I felt something from my vagina, and it was this big. It was like the entire uterus gushed out from my vagina. It was the thick layer in thick layer of my uterus, I guess. So yes, so I had three doctors, and they all say that I have hormonal imbalance, and because of that, I never went back to these doctors because oh yeah, I'll just self-medicate. So I took some pills, the same pills that I had before, but then my body is no longer taking it. I have to vomit every time I take those pills, and it was really a problem. So here in our city, which is Dumaguete City, um, it is just my opinion. I don't really rely on doctors here because of the experiences I had. Not just my experience, but my grandfather's experience too, and maybe my grandma and my mom and my sister. So I was hospitalized twice. So the first one was complaining about why I always vomit when I take some pills. And then the doctor said, just finish the pills. It will be okay. And I thought to myself, no, if I take more pills, I will become more weak. I will become more dehydrated because I would just throw up. That was my first time being hospitalized, and I thought to myself, okay, fine. I'll just confine myself in the hospital just to prove to my supervisor that I'm in the hospital. I need rest. Though I though I know that I would heal even if I'm just staying in my house. But these supervisors of mine are not contented. They want more from me. So yes, I just confined myself, and I thought I was having a huge health situation, but no, I just had UTI, urinary tract infection, which is what? And I was suspended at that time because I didn't notify for 3 days. I know it's my fault. Yes, what the? I am anemic, so I really have low red blood cells. And of course, I'm in the hospital, so the doctor find out about it. I never really wanted to um, have from another person. So then I told him, no, I'm not infusing blood inside my body from another person, from another people. But Yeah, just to prove my supervisor. That is just the main purpose of my hospitalization. Just to prove my supervisor that I'm unwell. Just to prove him that I'm not well. Goodness, what I'm feeling is not fake. So I'm not faking it. So I had it. I had the blood. 2 bags of blood. But then again, my red blood cells, my RBC is still not up. I'm still below the normal range of blood. Um, yes, blood count. So after that, I really have a um, reaction with my body. Uh, Here, see, there's some white spots. It's not just that. I have it all over my body and my stomach, and especially this. See, see, and this one too. See, hmm. This is the price I pay for infusing blood in me. But anyways, yes, that was the first hospitalization, and my second hospitalization was I'm working in another company, and I had diarrhea. I was a cashier at that time, and I always ask my manager that I would just like to go out because I want to poop. I thought I would be a regular cashier at that store, but I guess my body just don't like it. My feet was hurting, and it was the kind of pain that would affect my nerves, not just not just physical pain but internal pain. So I guess that's it. So I thought I would be regularized, so I have to confine myself again to the hospital. But it was a public hospital, so they would just give me different kinds of disease. So at first, um, there was an intern. I don't know if they're doctors or nurses, but they're from another country. They just visit the hospital, public hospital, and I guess they were students, and they were practicing their their course with the patients at the public hospital. So I was one of the guinea pigs, and um, this one student doctor was trying to place an IV. I'm right-handed, so I gave her my right hand, and then it swells. I don't know what she did, and so there was this one nurse. I know this nurse, and she said, "Oh, are you okay?" I said, "No, I'm not okay." So she said, uh, I'll insert the IV," and then she inserted my IV. My left hand. My left hand is the hand that I use to wash, to wash everything. I use this because I use this for water, and I use this to wash and wash under. So there, the IV infusion is sticked in my left hand. Therefore, I can't use this, and the bathroom is really dirty. So instead of me having diarrhea, I wasn't able to poop for 5 days in that hospital. 5 days. And then the doctor said that I have internal bleeding. And I was wondering, internal bleeding? Why? And she said that my red blood cells are getting lower and lower. And I said, what? Maybe because, and I told her, maybe because the technicians for blood is always getting blood out for me. Maybe that's why. And she just thought, no, it's just a tiny amount. I know it's tiny amount, but I'm anemic. And what that tiny amount can do to my body. You know what I mean? Maybe that's really funny, but if I thought to myself, if I have internal bleeding, then blood should go out from my ears, or maybe nose, or maybe mouth, maybe my anus, maybe my vagina, but no, no. So I signed this form so that I could go home because, again, we're not well off. My mom is not making enough money, and also my insurance is not that good. So yeah, I have to go out. Shorter days, lesser amount to pay. So yes, and so before I use pads for my menstruation, but 1 hour, 2 hours wearing it. It's very soaked, and changing pads every 2 hours. Oh no. So I decided to baby diapers. So I was in college when I realized that I should wear baby diapers. Before I used large diapers because every night it will flow along my butt crack. And yes, with large diapers, baby diapers, it would just uh, my blood would just so this is diapers. So the blood would just be here. The diaper would catch the blood. But now I have to use small diapers because large diapers are not soaked or not fully soaked. So I guess it would be a waste if I'll just throw it away, not soaking the entirety of the diaper. So I changed to small. But the solution, my solution for leaks every night, heavy flow, is ta-da! Tissue. I would just roll 5 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll just roll squares and I'll remove it, and then I will roll it again, like tampons. So after rolling the tissue, for example, if this is my butt crack, I will just stick it right there, and then in by the morning, sometimes it's soaked here with blood, or sometimes the entire tissue is soaked with blood. But most of the time, just here, or this this is entirely soaked. So yeah, so um, that's what I use for my heavy menstruation. Small baby diaper, and at night, to avoid leaks flowing from my butt crack, I use toilet paper to block the leakage from my butt crack. So therefore, my butt is not really baby skin. There's a lot of butt bumps, so don't ask further about that. So yes, and for diapers, how I use this is like this, and then I'll spread the garters, and then after spreading it, I make sure that this part tucked in my underwear garter. So I'll 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 stick this out. I'll pull this to make sure that my underwear garter is right here, so that there is lesser leaks. Yeah, so that's how I wear my diapers. So I guess that's all for now, and we're done.